Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Zelkenon, bringing you another Smite super builds. I did one for Sobek maybe quite a while ago. To be honest, I don't remember if I did or not. I just noticed we have no items. So let's go ahead and buy items. Now this is a very special, well not special, but it's a different super builds. This one is for Conquest, support, tank role, Sobek in the dual lane, which is the long lane. Now, when you first start off, I was going to start saying, Sobek is one of the top tier guardians, so he is a really great guardian. Only thing is, he'd be good at landing his one. But let's go ahead and start with what you should buy first. Now, you're going to be level 1. If you're starting out, you know, your Sobek, game to start or whatever, I would put my 1 point into your 3, which is your kind of cone effect. Reason being that kind of helps clear out minions early game if you wish to do so, and also deal some damage to that the mana camp. So get Watcher's Gift. Reason being is it's the tanky. Besides this one, it's the more of the support start out. That's what I'm trying to say. Because Guardians, they're going to be behind on XP. And they're going to be behind on gold. Reason being is they're not getting the kills, and they're not getting the last hits. This, the passive, when a friendly god kills a lane minion near you, which you're dual lane, you know, with the hunter, you also gain the last hit bonus. So pretty much you don't have to worry about attacking the minions getting last hit bonus. This gives it to you right there. Also, your gold per 5 is increased by 1. So that allows you to have a little bit more, of course, HP 5, MP 5, and the health, and you also get last hit bonus along with the gold. Next up, you should buy, where's that, actives. You get the first level of Providence, and go ahead and buy the first level of Hand of Gods. Now, when you're in a dual lane, you really need to get your mana buff that's right next to you, and give that to your ADC, your hunter, because he's going to be doing most of the damage. He's going to be clearing the minions, and he's going to be doing damage to enemy gods. So it's very important to get that mana buff for your ADC. Next, get consumables. Get one of each, or if you want to save up, that's fine, or buy a award. The consumables at the very beginning, they're up to you. But these are the base items for a Guardian and Conquest dual lane. Is Eye of Providence. Now set the Eye of Providence in your jungle, kind of north of the mana buff. In a future video, I will go over more about the Conquest and the lanes and all that stuff. That's gonna be a whole separate video series. But for right now, these are just the base items for a Guardian. This is a standard for all Guardians in Conquest Duo Lane, are these 3 main items when you first start. Watcher's Gift, level 1, Eye Providence, level 1, Hand of Gods. Consumables up to you. If you want to buy another ward, that's fine. Next, boots. Now, you really want to start working and get the Midas boots. Reason why this over the Reinforced Greaves, yeah, this gives you protection and CC reduction, but whatever. We don't need that. What we need is gold, because we're not getting the kills and whatnot. So we definitely need more gold. Oops, wrong button. Sorry. Tab. You get the 100 HP and you get the 100 mana, movement speed, of course, but the passive gold per 5 is increased by 5. So now we have 2 gold per 5 increase by a total of 6. Now this is if you're fighting against another Guardian and Hunter, which let's say their Guardian is not really too knowledgeable about the Guardian items. This setup, you're already going to have a gold advantage over that Guardian, and XP, like ahead of XP, like levels. I'm trying to say, sorry. As long as you're not dying, of course. So this is going to allow you to scale up higher and be higher in levels with the rest of your team, because the Guardian is always going to be the lowest level. If you're not, then the other people have severe issues. So, next up, Sovereignty. It's another standard for all Guardians. Because you're going to be fighting, at least in your lane, you're going to be fighting a Hunter and a Guardian, which is magical, but Guardians, they don't really build damage. they build tanky, so you don't have to worry about building defense against that Guardian just yet. So Sovereignty is a really, really great item. Yeah, it got nerfed by 50 HP, but it's still 465 protection. Also, it has a great aura. Now, just in your duo lane alone, this applies that physical protection to the hunter that's right next to you on your team, and he's going to have increased defense against the enemy hunter. So right away, you're building against the people in your own lane. And this is not to say for the other lanes. Now, even the jungler most likely is going to be physical, unless if magical Freya or Ymir or whatever. But this is also going to help you against the ganks, the potential ganks in your lane. And also maybe if the solo lane on the enemy team crosses over by some weird reason. But nonetheless, this is a really great item early, at mid, and late game. Really great item. Next. We're really low on our magical defense, so we need magical defense. Borg, really great item, high HP, high magical protection. It's not too costly, and great passive. If you are below 25% health, you gain a shield that reduces damage by 50% for 1 second. It can only occur once every 60 seconds. Great item. So, our magical defense is still kind of low. Now, at this point, it really depends on who you're fighting. If you're fighting more magical people, or if you're fighting more physical people. Now, traditionally, you should be fighting a jungler that's physical, a solo lane that's physical, you're fighting a hunter, you're fighting a magical guardian, and you're fighting a magical person in mid. So you're fighting 3 physicals and 2 magical. But that may change. The jungler could be magical, it could be Freya, who knows. But after that nerf to Freya, I'm not quite sure if she's going to still be jungling. So, let's just say, just to go magical. So let's go to the filter, go to magical. Now, since we do not have the CC boots, so we have no CC immunity, or reduction I should say. So you could get Magi's Blessing if you're fighting a really hard CC team. That is totally up to you. I really like the Son of Gaia because it's pretty cheap. As you see, 2,200. Very, very high magical protection and really great HP 5, and the passive for the Son of Gaia, it's nice. It helps you sustain in lane and be out in the field longer, rather than having to recall back and leave your team without a tank. If you have more than one magical person on your team, then Voidstone is another great item. Slowback does pretty decent magical damage with the skills, especially his ulti. So this is not too bad of an item also. Hide of the Urchin is a really, really nice item. But if you're going to get this, try to get it earlier, like maybe before Borak, or maybe even instead of Sovereignty. But let's just go ahead and get Son of Gaia. Okay, now I need physical. Now, if you're a god that kind of relies on more CDR, then perhaps getting Breastplate of Valor instead of Sovereignty could be useful to you. It gives you great mana, great physical protection, and CDR by 25%. The reason why I like Sovereignty is because of health. The health is really amazing, and the aura protection. So physical is up to you. Also, Mail of Renewal is a really great item, especially with the passive. It allows you to kind of heal up after a team fight, which keeps it more sustained. So, realize it's up to you. I would like to strafe away from Mystical Mark this late in the game, simply because the passive, it doesn't do too much. That passive aura is more of a early to mid game usefulness, and typically your solo laner should be getting this early. So physical, it's up to you. Let's just go ahead and go with Breastplate of Valor. Now, I did kind of mess up. Before you get Sovereignty, you should try to have either your Hand of Gods maxed out to this, not this. Please don't get Fist of Gods. You totally mess up. Get this Hand of Gods, or Rush Eye of Providence. Now, if you're fighting an enemy guardian in your lane, and you hit tab and you notice he has this Eye of Providence all the way level up to this version, then you're going to have a big issue. That you really need to focus your Eye of Providence and get that capped out as soon as possible. Reason being, if you have this level of Eye of Providence, not only is a 60 seconds cooldown instead of a 90, you can see enemy wards. And this is really key to battle, because if you place these and the enemy places his ward next to yours, you can see that ward on the map destroyed, and his Eye of Providence is on cooldown, and he has no knowledge of what's in that place, but you do. So this you may want to rush before Hand of Gods, actually. But still, not to say not to put points in Hand of Gods, because you really need this for when you do those team fights or try to sneak in some Gold Furies, and this is certainly helpful for Fire Giant. So let's go ahead and max these out. That being said, Eye of Providence, 60 seconds. It remains for 3 minutes or until killed. So you can have 3 of these up simultaneously if you place it down correctly in time. So you can place multiple of these. Now, with all that said, we still have Watcher's Gift at this point in the game. About mid to late game, you can sell this. I wouldn't sell it to late game. Like, keep that. Okay. Keep that until late game and then sell it. You get 800 gold, and now you can kind of buy whatever you want. Let's see. With the current build right now, we have 3060 health. We could use a little bit more HP. Our magical protection is a little bit lower than our physical, so let's go back into the magical section. Let's say we're fighting a team that has some really hard CC, so let's go ahead and buy Magi's Blessing. Whatever. 40% CDR, I mean not CDR, crowd control reduction, not cooldown reduction, so crowd control reduction, and a really great passive. Has some minor protection, but some pretty good HP. So we got what we needed. 3,400 HP. We have we have a passive on Magi's Blessing, and we have Aura with the Sovereignty, and overall really good defense. Yeah, not too bad. This is just typical for most Guardian builds in the Conquest dual lane. So I hope this helps you guys out if you're playing the Guardian role. This is definitely a different build versus Arena or Joust or whatever, but this probably is sort of a longish video. But yeah, thanks for watching. I really hope this helps out. If I left anything, please let me know in the comments below, or if you guys want to see anything specific, let me know too. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys later.